I worked the graveyard shift at a call center. Night shift. My shift usually started at 11 p.m. After I started, I heard my colleagues tell all sorts of ghost stories about the building. Of course, I didn't believe them, not even a little. I only cared about work. All I wanted was to grind and make money. One night, mid-shift, I needed to use the restroom. There were 2 restrooms on our floor, one large, one small. The smaller one was closer to my workstation, tucked away in the left corner of the office. Besides being small, it was also dimly lit. Actually, everyone usually used the larger restroom. It was much cleaner too, but I didn't feel like walking that far. It was just a quick pit stop. The restroom had 2 sinks, with a large mirror above them. Only 2 lights flickered within, and one of them was burnt out, already dim. It was now even darker. Of the 3 stalls, only the furthest one had toilet paper. No choice but to use that one. As I sat there, I heard someone enter. They went into the stall next to mine. Then, I heard a woman sobbing. I figured it was a colleague who'd been chewed out by the boss, hiding in the restroom to cry. So, I asked, "Are you okay?" But the crying continued. No response. I finished and stood up to leave. The moment I stood, the sobbing stopped. Worried, I knocked on the divider, asked again, but there was still no answer. I even crouched down and peered through the gap beneath the stall. Empty. Impossible. I swear, I heard someone enter that stall. Fear gripped me. I remembered the ghost stories my colleagues had told me about the building. I rushed to the door, but for some reason, the handle wouldn't turn. It had worked perfectly when I entered. Why was it broken now? The door was stuck. Panic swelled. Tears welled in my eyes. I rattled the handle, but it was no use. Then, the sobbing started again, closer this time. Terror consumed me. I stood there, frozen, tears streaming down my face, helpless. What was I going to do? Had I actually encountered something unholy? The sobbing ceased. A chilling presence crept up behind me. The single remaining light began to flicker violently. I didn't dare turn around, terrified of what I might see. But in my peripheral vision, I saw a woman's reflection in the mirror, appearing and disappearing with the flickering light. She wasn't behind me. She was in one of the stalls, half her face visible. I squeezed my eyes shut, drenched in a cold sweat. My body trembled uncontrollably. My body trembled uncontrollably with fear. I thought this was it. My end. I started praying, weakly. Suddenly, the door opened. A cleaning lady walked in, a lifeline. I breathed again. Relief washed over me. I stammered out the horrifying tale. She brushed it off. I only heard about the broken handle. Needed fixing. I fled back to the office, explained to my supervisor my prolonged restroom break, recounted the ordeal, asked for time off. The encounter had shaken me, nauseous, uneasy. I needed to escape, to rest. My supervisor, skeptical, granted my request. Before leaving, I warned my colleagues. Stay away from the small restroom. Would they heed my warning? Afterwards, I never went near that dreadful place again. Months later, I quit.